Hi everybody, I hope that you're doing well. It's Miss Reimer here, and I'm going to teach you how to make a snowflake. You have to forgive this sound. It's quite muffled in this room because there are no soft furnishings. So hopefully you can understand what my instructions are, and we're going to get started. So the first thing you're going to get is a piece of paper like this, and you're going to cut very carefully around the edges here until you have something that looks like this. Now this is a little bit different. As you can see, the pattern's a little bit different than this one, but that's okay. So the first thing that you need to do then is you need to fold it on this line. Okay, there we go. So fold it on this line, and the more neat you fold it, the better snowflake you're going to have. So you might want to take your time with this. So folding it here. Good, well done. Okay, and then I'm going to fold it like this. Again, slow and steady, very slow and steady. Make sure that all the edges are connected. And if you need help, I'm sure there's going to be a classroom teacher or two that would be able to help you, or an EA. And then you're going to fold along this side. So you're going to flip it over, and now we have to fold this side to this center part right along here. There we go, bring it there. And once you have it on the line, then you can easily press it out like that. That's the best time to fold as well. Okay, and we're going to unfold that and do the same thing on this side. Fold this towards that line, like this. Oops. And once we have that, you fold the other one over, and it should make kind of like a little shape like this. Then the last thing that you need to do, and this might be pretty tricky because it's through a bunch of, oops, I've lost my scissors, there we go. Through a bunch of paper. It might be pretty tricky for you, but you really have to be careful when you cut out. You're going to cut out the dark parts like this. Okay. And you really want to take your time doing this so you have a beautiful snowflake. There's one part out, right? Smaller the parts are, the harder they're going to cut. Harder it's going to be cut. And you certainly don't want to cut beyond the lines, because then you might cut that off and then you're going to have to start your snowflake all over again. So you're going to just cut out the dark parts like this. And one part here. There we go. It's gone. And this last part here, it's a bigger part. Cut it all the way to there. And it's slow and steady. Slow and steady. Wins the race. Little tiny cuts. And now, you're going to be like, what on earth? I cut that whole thing away. I'm not going to end up with something that looks very pretty, but check it out. Now you unfold it very gently. And as you can see, I have, oh, I accidentally cut all the way through that one. That's okay. I have a beautiful six-sided snowflake. So now with your snowflake, you press it down flat like that. And now, to make a headband, because I don't want this whole thing on my head because it's a little bit too big, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half. I'm going to cut it along here, through there, and along like that. And then, if I have a piece of paper, pretend I have a piece of cardstock. Here, I'm just going to fold this in half. It's obviously going to be a different color. I'll pretend this is a headband. I'm going to then glue my snowflake onto the headband. Like that. It's kind of hard to see white on white here though, but as you can see. And then this part I can wrap around my head. And then I can adjust it. And I actually don't want any, if you want to decorate your snowflake with a little bit of like silver glitter, that would be great, but I don't want any coloring on it, okay? So if you want to add silver glitter, that's totally fine, but please don't color on it, because if you color on it, then it just kind of looks messy. But a little bit of glitter will make it look a lot better. So, and it will actually stand out, because actually I'd prefer if you put a little bit of silver glitter on. So a little silver glitter, and then you can glue it here. And I also have another half, so you can pick whatever half looks better, and then you'll glue it onto the cardstock and measure your head. And then once that's done, then you'll put it aside and until the concert, and it'll be wonderful. So I suppose I could have, and you'll be able to be like, oh, Miss Ryan, why didn't you do it? I suppose I could have cut it along there to make it look a little bit better. Whichever half you want to cut, that's totally fine. But if I cut it along there, then, or if I cut it, sorry, along here, this line, then it probably would have looked a lot better. It probably would have looked, and I would have had this tip up like that, and my headband would have looked like that. So make sure that the tallest tip is the one that's in the middle, and then you cut in half along there, if that makes sense. So that's how you make a snowflake headband. Just silver glitter, please. No coloring. And I'll talk about supplies more in an email.